Then I let me in the door. Then I gave your boy a chance, now the youngin' finna blow. It's a shame finna put the game in the figure four. Youngin' fresh from out that bottom.
Oh, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, man. You ain't gotta comment, but I do appreciate it if you hit the sub button if you're new. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about Attack on Titan, but in particular, this is my review for Attack on Titan manga chapter 139. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when the leaks had first came out for the final chapter, I was hella disappointed, and I did not want to believe anything that I was reading. And I was actually getting ready to create a video and explaining why the leaks might be fake, because I truly could not believe that he ended Attack on Titan like this. I was like, yo, it's no way that he did this shit. Like, at first, we all thought that this was a joke. Like, this had to be an April Fool's joke or something like that. Like a late April Fool's joke. It just had to be. But after putting some thought to it, I was like, you know what? It's no point in trying to create a video explaining why the leaks are fake, because I had already accepted this ending. And I truly was disappointed. And it's not the fact that I was wrong in my prediction videos, because at the end of the day, I still predicted a lot of shit, like Mikasa killing Eren. I also predicted Eren killing his own mother so that he can create that hatred for the Titans to get him to where he's at in the final chapter. Because if you think about it, if Eren would have never had that hatred for the Titans, this whole story would have been completely different. Because at the end of the day, that is what kept him motivated. And I also predicted Eren becoming the Wings of Freedom, which is that bird that we see at the end of the final chapter. Now, I don't think he's reincarnated into the bird. I just think that he's using the bird in some shape or form to stay attached to the world. Kind of like how Ymir used the Titan paths to basically stay attached to this world. So he's doing the same thing. So every time we had seen a bird flying by itself throughout the whole entire series, it always have been Eren in the future, like already free. So technically, Eren is not dead. He's still alive. Whenever Armin or Mikasa or anybody see a bird flying by itself, they know that Eren is still with them. So at the end of the day, I'm still glad that I was able to predict the ending to Attack on Titan. Now, the reason why my other prediction videos did not come true is because Isayama steered us in the wrong direction. He told us to go right. This motherfucker did a whole U-turn and didn't even tell us. And that was the only way that I could be wrong. I did everything right. I connected the dots. I made everything make sense. Everything that I ever said in my prediction videos is probably a route that Isayama thought that he could go in. And everything that I ever said was going off of what he said. He said that we was going to have a tragic ending. He also said that his first initial ending was to kill everybody. Who the fuck could have predicted that he was going to do a whole 180 and just have Eren die? If his first initial ending was to kill everybody, you would think that his new revamped ending would be somewhat similar to the original ending that he first created, right? But after reading the chapter, it truly felt like Isayama needed more than one chapter to wrap everything up. Like, he needed like 2 to 3 chapters. He just didn't have enough time. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't have enough time. And because of the fact that he didn't have enough time, it caused him to create this ending that had a lot of plot holes, and some of the things that had happened in this chapter didn't really make sense. And he didn't really explain anything. Like, what had happened to Ymir? What did she really want? So you mean to tell me that Ymir was looking for somebody who could free her from the agony of love, and that person was Mikasa? Seeing Mikasa kill the person that she was madly in love with, but being in love with Eren also caused her a lot of agony. But because of that love, she didn't care that she was suffering. She didn't care about her own well-being, and she didn't live for herself. She only lived for Eren, which is something that she thought was okay because of the fact that she was in love with the motherfucker. But Ymir seeing Mikasa rise up and end her own suffering by killing the person that she always lived for and who she was madly in love with, seeing that freed Ymir. Now, I understand it, and that would explain why Ymir did what she did, especially once she got the power of the Titans. That would explain why she went back to the king just to be used as a bigger slave to suppress other countries with the power of the Titans. Ymir loving the king also explains why she jumped in front of the spear. So she didn't jump in front of the spear just to escape to the paths. She just did it out of love. And once she finally had escaped to the paths and now was finally free from her suffering, she decided to still remain loyal to the king because of that love that she had for the king. Now, like I said, I understand it, but the one thing that did not make a lot of sense to me with the character of Ymir is making Ymir fall in love with the king. I don't understand that. Like, when did that even happen? Like, did this bitch fall in love with him when she first seen the king come to her village and take her freedom away, kill her parents, and rip her tongue? Like, that made her fall in love with him? What the Like I said, I understand it, but I just don't get why he did that. But like I said, I truly understand it, but I just don't get it. But I guess that is what Ymir truly wanted. She did not want a second chance at life like how I thought. All she wanted was to see somebody do something that she could never do, which is end her own suffering and free herself by killing the person that she truly loved. Like I said, I don't know how the fuck this bitch fell in love with him, but that motherfucker ain't left her back. Another thing that I did not understand is how killing Eren stopped everything. Like, after the parasite got separated from Eren's Titan, it started to act on its own. It even manipulated Falco's scream to summon its own Titans. After killing Eren, that should have been their next priority. Finding a way how to kill that parasite, which is something that I thought they was going to do. And the only person that was meant for that job, because of the fact that that parasite was using Titan hardening to protect itself, the only person that would be able to kill the parasite would be Falco. That's the only person that I've seen who could actually kill that parasite. But I feel like Isayama changed the whole ending. Like, a lot of things was supposed to happen that did not happen, just because he did not have enough time. Maybe he knew that he wasn't going to have enough time, but he tried to squeeze everything into these last couple of chapters, which is probably why everything felt rushed to certain people. Now, this is the first time that a chapter actually felt rushed to me. In my opinion, I just truly feel like a lot of things was supposed to happen in this chapter. Now, the ending that Isayama went for was a realistic type of ending. Now, when I say this, I feel like I can speak for everyone. Once we first got introduced into the story, we all thought that at some point, Eren and the scouts are going to literally solve every problem that Paradis had. And to be honest, if you want to think about it, they definitely solved a lot of problems that they had. But when we get to the final chapter and we see the results of the Alliance stopping the rumbling by killing Eren, doing that caused Paradis Island to never be free. They're free, but now they have to continue to fight for freedom like they always been doing throughout the whole entire series. And to be honest, it seemed like Eren did everything for nothing. But I don't want to think like that. Everything that Eren has done from the time that we got introduced to this character up until now was for something. What Eren did with the rumbling and him being killed by his friends and making the aliens that live on Paradise Island look like heroes instead of devils because of the fact that they saved a bunch of people that hated them. What Eren did was steer them in the right direction. It took a lot of sacrificing to get to this point, but now Paradise Island is now going in the right direction. It's just like back in season 2, right? When they first learned that Titans were humans, Irvin had smiled at that. And Levi couldn't understand why Irvin was smiling, knowing that they sacrificed so much just to get a little bit of information about the Titans. And Irvin smiled at that. The reason why he smiled is because now Paradise Island was moving in the right direction. At first, they was running around aimlessly like headless chickens. And that is stated in the outro song to the final season of Attack on Titan. For a long time, Paradise Island was running around aimlessly like headless chickens. They was literally sacrificing people for the fun of it and didn't get anything in return for all the sacrifices they had made. But when they first learned a little bit of information about the Titans and learned that they're humans, Eren smiled because they was finally moving in the right direction. Now all the sacrifices that they had made wasn't for nothing. It was for something now. And that is all Eren did. He basically steered Paradise Island in the right direction. Now, of course, he could have fixed everything by destroying the world. And that's something that I truly wanted him to do. That was the only way that Paradise Island was going to be free. And that is something that Eren truly wanted for all the sacrifices that they had made. Even though he gave up at the end, I truly felt like that's something that he still wants, which is to have the aliens that are born on Paradise Island to experience true freedom. But at the end, Eren had gave up on everything. The reason why Eren had gave up on everything is because he couldn't bring himself to kill his friend. I stressed that so many times in all my prediction videos and all my theory videos that if Eren truly wants to achieve true freedom, which is something that he's been saying throughout the whole entire series, if that was his main goal, to achieve that goal, he has to kill his friends. And that is something that Eren couldn't bring himself to do. Because at the end of the day, he was doing this for his friends. Instead of killing them, which is something that he easily could have did. Like, if I was Eren, I would have been killed the motherfuckers. But he didn't kill them because he already picked his friends over his mission. He did exactly what Irvin did. He gave up on this mission, he gave up on his dreams, and he also gave up on his responsibility to protect Paradise Island. But he sacrificed himself, just like how Irvin did, and entrusted everything to them. His dreams, his mission, and his ideology. Everybody that is now living on Paradise Island now carries Eren's ideology to fight. If you win, you can live. If you lose, you die. But you can't win if you don't fight. So fight. All of them now carry Eren's ideology. He changed the way how the outside world looked at the people that was born on Paradise Island. Even though the outside world might still hate them, but they can't hate them like how they used to. These people that True grew to hate without even trying to get to understand them, to learn that they're just like you. These motherfuckers just saved your life, even though you literally hated them for no reason at all, just because they're born as aliens, people who could become Titans. But they put all that to the side just to save the people that hated them. Now, like I said, the outside world might still hate Paradise Island, but they can't hate them the same way that they used to hate them. They cannot. And now that the power of the Titans are now gone, you can no longer hate the aliens just because they was born into a race that can become Titans. You can no longer hate them for that because now they can't even become Titans even if they wanted to. So some type of understanding definitely was formed. But like I said earlier in the video, by Eren stopping the rumbling and allowing himself to get killed by his friends just so that they can look like the heroes, so he can change that image for the aliens that are born on Paradise Island. Even though Eren did all of that, it still did not stop the war. And it didn't completely destroy all the hate that is toward aliens. But like I said, Paradise Island is now moving in the right direction. They now got that foot in the door where they can actually try to form some type of understanding. Because at first, the outside world didn't want any parts of Paradise Island. They didn't even want to negotiate with them. But after saving humanity, now you have no choice but to hear these motherfuckers out and respect them in some type of shape or form. You have to. It's just like how it is with Zeke. Zeke showed his loyalty to the Malayan government by ratting out his own father. And because he did that, the Malayan government had no choice but to respect this motherfucker. They had no choice but to hear this motherfucker out because of what he did. So it should be the same way for the aliens that are born on Paradise Island. You have no choice but to respect them and at least give them a chance to show you who they really are. Because these motherfuckers just saved your life. And that is what Eren gave them. Eren could have truly solved every problem that Paradise had. But he didn't. He only solved a few problems and entrusted everything else to his friends. And that is why I said that Isayama basically created a realistic type of ending. Where it's just like how it is in real life, man. Like, you're not going to be able to solve every problem that comes your way. You have to deal with this shit. And even if you find a way to solve all your problems, you're going to have another problem that you're going to have to solve tomorrow. So you just got to deal with this shit. And the biggest problem that the Eldians really had was the fact that they was always been looked at as people who could become Titans, and they couldn't move from that. Even if that Eldian had no intentions of becoming a Titan at all, they still would be hated no matter what. But now that the image of, we're people who can become Titans, now that that is gone, now we can actually move forward from that. And now we can actually move in the right direction where people can try to understand us and give us a chance. So if you push everything to the side, all the plot holes, all the things that Isayama didn't have a chance to explain and expand on, if you push all that to the side and take that ending that I just explained, to be honest, that's a good-ass fucking ending. And I'm okay with that. Now, like I said, if I was Eren, I would have been destroyed the world. Fuck everything. But some real shit, I don't think I'd be able to do it either. Knowing that I took other people's dreams away. Knowing that I took other people's freedom away just to attain my own freedom. And then on top of that, I killed the people that I was actually doing this shit for. To be honest, if you think about it, if Eren really did that, I don't even think he would have been able to enjoy this freedom that he achieved. Knowing that he wouldn't be able to experience it with the people that he actually was doing this shit for. Because he had to kill them in order to achieve it. All Eren would do would basically regret every fucking decision that he made, and he wouldn't be able to enjoy the freedom that he just achieved. Just like how I said in my prediction video, if he would have went through with the rumbling, he would have died a sad death. And if it truly was a time loop that had happened in the story of Attack on Titan, if that was real, I don't know. You know, it's just a theory. I see a lot of people saying that Isayama said that it wasn't true, but this motherfucker kind of lied about the ending. So do y'all still believe this motherfucker or what? So if the time loop was real, after destroying the world, I feel like Eren would have truly reset time and picked the ending that we got in the manga. Instead of him killing everybody, he's the one that died. Which could be true. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing that other timeline in the anime. I wouldn't mind seeing him actually destroy the world in the anime. To be honest, Isayama has a lot of material to create another ending for the anime. He has a lot of material. Like, just think about all the theory videos that I came up with, along with the other theories that other content creators have created on YouTube, and along with the theories that you guys have created in the comments. He has a lot of material to create another ending for the anime, which is something that I hope that he does. Showing us Eren's wrong decision in the anime, and then we got Eren's right decision in the manga. At the end of the day, both Eren's decision to either destroy the world or his decision to pick his friends over his own ideology and his own dreams, both of Eren's decisions would have literally caused a very important change for the audience. Both decisions, and that'd be cool as hell to see. Because if you think about it, look at all the foreshadowing that was in the anime. Look at all the foreshadowing that was in the outro season 2. The fact that he was being handed the baby. Like, I don't want to think that Isayama just threw all that foreshadowing out the way. I don't want to think that he did that. Maybe this whole time he was setting up the manga and the anime to have two different type of endings. But the final chapter, which is chapter 139, I can't even believe that I just said that, but the final chapter, which is chapter 139, is titled Toward the Tree on That Hill, and it actually starts off with Kid Eren talking to Kid Armin. And this conversation takes place after adult Armin seen Kid Eren inside the paths and called it freedom. When Kid Eren seen Armin inside the paths, I always thought that was a weird transition. I was like, bro, something had to happen right there. But now we learned that Eren actually brought Armin inside the paths to have a conversation with him. I want to believe that Eren and Armin traveled across time, back to season 1, back to where everything started at, back when he still had dreams to venture outside the walls, back when he still believed that everything that the world was described to be inside Armin's book, this is what they thought the world was like. But the conversation between Kid Armin and Kid Eren starts off with Armin understanding why Eren did what he did, all because he's seen the future through via of the Attack Titan's power to see into its future successor's memories. But the fact that Eren didn't have a future successor, he had to look back in order to gain those future memories. But after Armin says that he understands why Eren did it, he still don't understand why Eren had to beat him up like that. And Eren basically explained to Armin that once he had no choice but to follow his future memories. He had no choice but to follow his destiny. Just like how I explained in my past videos, Eren didn't have no other choice. He gave them chance after chance after chance to try to come up with a different plan other than the plan that he already had set up for himself to succeed in the future. And even when they did come up with a plan, those plans did not work. They tried to negotiate, the rest of the world wasn't trying to fuck with them. They tried to go the understanding route, but they just didn't have enough time. But once Eren seen that the outside world wasn't trying to literally give the people that was on Paradise Island a chance, they wasn't even trying to give them a chance to understand them, he said fuck it. But even when he said fuck it and went over there to Marley and decided to work with Zeke, when he talked to Reiner and he met Reiner, he made sure that Willie Tiber was actually able to finish his speech. Even though Eren knew what he was going to say, he was hoping that Willie Tiber said something different, but he still declared war. So because of Willie Tiber declaring war, Eren has no choice but to fuck shit up. But even after destroying Marley, he went back to Paradise Island and still tried to give humanity a chance. He still did not want to go through with the Rumbling. He still did not want to go through with his destiny. Even though it was already written for him to do it, he still did not want to do it. He was looking for other routes. But the fact that Armin couldn't give him another route, the fact that Hanji couldn't give him another route, he had no other choice but to follow his destiny. And now Eren was ready to die for his friends and sacrifice his life so that they can have long lives. Eren became desperate and he made sure that everything went exactly as planned because he had no other choice. He was forced to do this and he was ready to die for his friends. But after explaining that to Armin, Eren then says that he's sorry. But Armin says to Eren that he's not the person that Eren's supposed to be saying sorry to. He's supposed to be saying sorry to Mikasa for hurting her feelings and lying about everything. But after that, Armin then understands that everything that Eren has done was just to push them away, to make them look like heroes. Eren explains to Armin by them turning their backs on Paradise Island, even when they was called island devils and picking humanity over their own home, they should immediately be seen as saviors of every surviving member of society. And they should be highly respected. Like I explained earlier in the video, just like how Zeke is, he was highly respected. They also should be highly respected by these people that they literally turned their backs on their own home for. Eren then says that the Rumbling will kill 80% of humanity. That motherfucker killed a lot of people, I ain't gonna lie. He killed a lot of people. 80%, that's a lot. And by him killing all those people, they won't be able to wage war. And if they do, they won't be able to do it right away. With Paradise Island now being the most highly respected people in the world, just like how the Tigers was, they should now be able to force other races to understand where they're coming from and understand their story. And that all they really wanted was peace. But if you come and fuck with our peace again, we will kill you motherfuckers. But then Eren gets up from where they were sitting at, and Armin asks Eren where he's going, and he says that we're going where we wanted to go from the very beginning. And this whole moment between Eren and Armin was very needed. Even when he said that he didn't want to talk to them anymore and that they needed to kill him. Even when he said that, I truly feel like Eren truly wanted to talk to him and tell them everything. And low-key, he did. He just locked their memories away until they succeeded in killing him. The only person that remembered was Mikasa because of the fact that she's an Ackerman. So she remembered her whole conversation with Eren when she dreamed about her going back to their home. And when she got back to reality, that's when she remembered her whole conversation with Eren and knew exactly what to do. She knew that she had to kill him. But Armin and Eren finally get to see the flaming water, which was in Armin's book. And Eren seeing Armin's reaction to them seeing the Sea of Flames is like, damn, despite everything happening, this motherfucker still wanted to see that. And I truly feel like Eren is happy that he finally got to experience this with Armin. The only crazy thing about it is that Armin had already got to experience this, but he didn't know that he experienced everything that the world was being described as in the book. He didn't know that because Eren had locked those memories away. It's just fucking crazy. But Eren and Armin are talking about Ymir the Founder, and Eren is explaining to Armin how he was able to understand what Ymir wanted. And then he says to Armin that once he first made contact with Ymir, he was able to feel something, and he couldn't believe what the fuck he was feeling. He couldn't believe that this bitch was in love with Karl Fritz. And the only reason why he was able to understand what she wanted is because he wanted the same thing for Mikasa. Eren wanted to free Mikasa from her suffering for loving him. And because of the fact that he wanted the same thing for Mikasa, he was easily to understand what Ymir wanted. So he just gave that bitch what she wanted. But everything was riding on Mikasa's decision to kill Eren. I believe that I said that in a prediction video as well. Like, I predicted a lot of shit, man. Like, oh my gosh. I literally said that everything was going to ride on Mikasa's decision to either kill Eren or protect him. She ended up killing the motherfucker, which I was okay with. I said if they truly decide to kill Eren, the person that needs to kill him is Mikasa. This shit's just crazy, man. I low-key predicted the fucking ending, like, a long time ago. Isayama probably was watching my videos, man. The world may never know. But then Eren explains to Armin that he got his friends that he cared so much about wrapped up in this battle, not even knowing if they would survive. Even though Eren had future memories and he knew exactly what was going to happen, that does not mean that everything that happened in his future that he had seen was going to come true. He was ready for anything to change. He was hoping that something changed. I'm pretty sure that he did not want Sasha to die. But everything in his future memories ended up happening. And all he could do was keep moving forward. Because at the end of everything, he knew that he would repay her for what she had gave. Low-key, it could have been any one of them. It could have been Connie, John, Mikasa, and Armin. At the end of the day, he still had to keep moving forward to at least save the rest of them. But after that, Armin then realizes that Eren has been alone and that he's been suffering ever since they received the medals that day. And I'm not gonna lie, I got hella emotional when I read this part because I truly understand the character of Eren Yeager to the fullest. I could damn near put myself in his shoes. If I was him, I wouldn't even have died for these motherfuckers because they are some horrible ass friends. They realized that Eren had changed. Both Mikasa and Armin. And even though they realized that he changed, they still did not speak up and talk to this motherfucker. Especially at the point where he was still conflicted on what he does in the future. He was literally crying out for help. And they could not see that. And even if they did see it, all they did was look the other way. Instead of confronting him and seeing if he's okay, all they did was like, oh, that's Eren being Eren. No, bitch, I'm fucking hurting over this motherfucker. And it took them too long to figure out that he was suffering the most, man. Like, it's fucked up. If I was Eren, I would have killed them. I wouldn't have died for them. I would have killed them. Eren sacrificed everything for them. Literally. This motherfucker sacrificed his own mother. He sacrificed his father. He sacrificed his brother. He sacrificed his mental state. And he also sacrificed his own fucking life just to protect these bitches. I would have killed these motherfuckers. Like, wow. When Armin finally realized that he was suffering so much, that shit really hit me. I already knew that Eren killed his mother for this shit. That shit really hit me. It did. And when he finally revealed that to Armin, Armin just knew exactly what the fuck he was talking about. He didn't even let Eren finish what he was saying. He didn't even let him finish what he was saying. This is Armin realizing that he literally gave up every fucking thing just to see them have long lives. Like, wow. But then after that, Armin and Eren start talking about Mikasa. And even though Eren told Mikasa to be free and to move on and have a long life and all types of shit like that, even though he said that to Mikasa, he truly don't want Mikasa to leave him, and he don't want to leave Mikasa. I'm not gonna lie. Eren did some simp ass shit, but I understand where he was coming from. This is just Eren revealing all his feelings that he had bottled up throughout the whole entire series. The reason why he could not tell Mikasa how he truly felt is because he always knew that he was not the right person for Mikasa. But even though he knew that, he still did not want to leave Mikasa, and he still did not want Mikasa to leave him. I truly feel like Isayama did this on purpose just to make us cringe at that shit. Now, I don't care who he was going to end up with. I don't really care. But we all know that he was supposed to end up with Historia. But then after that, Eren explains that he does not want to die and that he wants to stay with Mikasa. He wants to be with everybody. And Armin tells him to not give up and to basically try to find another way. But the thing about it, the reason why Eren has to do this is because of the fact that they always kept trying to find another way, but could not find one. And by the time they found another way, the island would have already been destroyed. It would have been too late. The outside world was already on its way to destroy Paradise Island. Eren stopped that. But then after that, Eren explains to Armin that even if he didn't have future memories, he still would have destroyed the world. It still would have come to that. And Armin asks him why. He says that, I don't know. It's just something that he wanted to do, and it's just something that he had to do. Now, this is where everybody is saying that Isayama basically destroyed Eren's character, making him say that he did not know why he wanted to do that, but it's just something that he had to do. This was Eren's destiny. It was already written out for him. Now, I can understand why that would make a lot of people mad, and why that would make people believe that Isayama destroyed Eren's character. Now, I don't know why Isayama made Eren say that, but we all know that that's not true. I don't know if this is Isayama's way of showing Eren's habit on going back on everything that he ever says, because we all know that that shit is not true. He just said to Armin that he does not want to leave everybody. He does not want to die, but it's just something that he has to do. It's already written out for him. Now, just because it's something that he had to do, it doesn't mean that this is something that he wanted to do, because we all know this is not what Eren wanted to do. He wanted a different way. He wanted a different route. But all the ways that they was coming up with wasn't fucking working, and it took too long to get a result. And then the outside world declared war. What the fuck was he supposed to do? He was forced to do the rumbling. He had no other choice. The outside world did not give him any other options, and his friends and the commanders that was in charge at that time did not give him any other options as well. So he went with his destiny. In my opinion, I don't think he destroyed Eren's character at all. I just think he probably just showed us Eren's habit of going back on everything that he ever said, because he just said that I don't want to die, but it's just something that he just has to do. But like I said, I do understand why people are mad. It definitely doesn't make sense for him to say that, because he knows exactly why he did it, and he knows that he was forced to do this. He had no other options. Now, of course, he could have changed everything if he really wanted to. He could have stopped his friends and destroyed the world, but he already accepted his destiny. He accepted his fate. When he had seen that nothing was changing, he said, fuck it, ain't nothing changing. I have no choice but to go along with this then. But then after that, we get the Eren, you are free. Now, we all thought this was going to be the last panel for the chapter, but this motherfucker changed the ending. I don't know what made him change the ending. Something definitely made Isayama change his ending from tragic to a bittersweet type of ending. But after that, Armin then thanks Eren for sacrificing everything just for their sake. And then Eren says to Armin that humanity will be saved by him, just like how he said back in season 3 of part 2. To be honest, it was actually Mikasa. It wasn't really Armin, but okay. After that, Eren erases Armin memories, and it cuts back to when he was talking to Annie. For Annie, it seemed like a second that Armin was gone, but for Armin, he was gone and talking to Eren for years. We can see that as they grew up from being little kids all the way back to adults. And to be honest, at that same moment, he probably also talked to Annie as well. But then it cuts back to the battlefield with Armin waking up, and now with Eren being dead and Ymir now free, the power of the Titans were now gone. And every member of the Alliance, except for Peck, I don't know why he didn't talk to that bitch. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to talk to her. I don't know. But with the power of the Titans gone, every member of the Alliance now remember that conversation with Eren. And I low-key wanted to see everything that he talked about with every fucking character. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we learned what he said to Connie, but I wanted to see what he said to John. I wanted to see what he said to Reiner. I wanted to see what he said to Annie. Like, hopefully he expand on that in the anime if the ending is going to be the same. But after that, you just have everybody reunited with each other, and it was good to see. Now, I did want them to die, especially Reiner. I don't know how he survived, but they did. And you just have them reunited with each other, and Annie's father basically explains to the secretary that, hey, we're nothing but just regular humans now. We lost the power of the Titans. We can no longer become Titans, but the Secretary wants them to prove it. And if you think about it, this is a full circle all the way back to season 1 when Armin had to prove that Eren was not a threat to humanity, which he ended up being anyway. That shit's fucking crazy. But Armin does the same thing that he did in the first season. But instead of him trying to save his life, Mikasa's life, and Aron's life, he's now saving everybody's life by showing them that they're no longer a threat to humanity anymore. They no longer can use the power of the Titans, because if they did, they would have already resisted already and destroyed you motherfuckers. But no, they're just regular people now. But then after that, we get a 3-year time skip. We get introduced to Historia's daughter, and Isayama never told us what her name is, so I guess he's not important. So to my understanding, Historia only got pregnant to maintain her safety, just in case if anything went wrong, I guess. But after that, we get a chance to see everything that Eren Yeager has changed on Paradise Island. In a letter that Historia had made, she said that she agreed with everything that Eren had said. The fight will not end until either Eldia or the rest of the world perish. And even though Eren didn't basically free Eldia from war, which is something that he easily could have done, Eren steered them in the right direction. And now Paradise Island have a lot of options that can actually protect the island. And now that they're not Titan shifters, they got all the time in the world to figure this shit out. So Armin can go this peaceful route that he wanted to. The reason why they couldn't do it before was because they didn't have time. Armin said that all it took was time. Now Eren granted you all the time in the motherfucking world. But just because the island want peace doesn't mean that the rest of the world want peace with them. So that's why they had the Jaegers take control of the army. So when that time come, motherfucker, we got motherfuckers who can get shit done, who is willing to kill shit to maintain Eldia's freedom. But it was really good to see all the Eldians come together, because I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the biggest problems as well. Like Eldians fighting other Eldians and taking other Eldians' freedom just to please another race that really didn't give a shit about you, that was ready to throw you away as soon as your 13 years was up, and it was fucked up. So I'm glad they can actually come together and defeat all their enemies together. That shit live. I'm not gonna lie, that shit is live. Eren motherfucking Yeager did all that. But then it cuts to Mikasa under the tree, and she is sitting next to Eren's grave, and she's asking him if he's happy. And to be honest, I think he is. I think he truly is happy that his friends get to have a long life. And even though he might be happy, Mikasa is not happy at all. She wants to meet Eren again, and what a coincidence, she meets Eren again, and this motherfucker's a bird. And the bird basically pecks at the scarf to make her remember what he asked her to do, which is to basically move on with her life and to be free and live a life that she can actually be happy about. But it's going to be hard for her. It truly is. But then after that, the chapter ends off with Mikasa thanking Eren for wrapping the scarf around her. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, when I read the leaks, I was truly disappointed. But when I read the chapter, I was able to understand what Isayama tried to do for the ending. He created a realistic type of ending for Attack on Titan, where a lot of things were solved, but a lot of things wasn't at the same time. It's just like real life. You're not going to be able to solve every fucking problem that you have. Sometimes you might have that same problem popping up every time, over and over and over again. And for the people that's living on Paradise Island, that one problem that keeps popping up is the fact that they have to fight over and over and over again just to maintain that freedom. And if you think about it, everything else is solved. Everything is fucking solved. And like I said, if you put everything to the side, the plot holes and everything that didn't make sense to you, if you put all that shit to the side, this ending for Attack on Titan was actually a good ass ending. And I'm okay with it. Now, like I said, I wanted Eren to destroy the world, but that's not what Isayama wanted. But it was a good ass ending, and I'm okay with it. I could have easily created a quick little 10-minute video explaining how Isayama destroyed Eren's character. I could have easily did that, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to try to understand why Isayama felt like it was right to make an ending like this for Attack on Titan. Isayama, thank you. You gave me way more than just a story to read and be attached to. You also gave me an opportunity with this YouTube shit, because I didn't think I would be able to get this far. Like, bro, my channel grew fast as fuck. Like, it really feel like yesterday I was just at 100 subscribers, and it blew my mind every time that I look at YouTube and I see that, like, damn, it's damn near 5,000 people fucking with me. And I appreciate every last one of you, like, literally, like, on some real shit. Every last one of you. But this is the end of the video, man. You ain't gotta comment, but I do appreciate it if you did something, if you're new, and I'm out, bruh.